Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, is back and he is going full force on the custody dispute between himself and Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen. Michael's return changes everything, and Willow will be fearful that she will lose custody of her children. Wiley Corinthos, Viron Weaver, and Amelia Corinthos, Serenity, and Sequoia Mork Mako. Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, has promised Willow that he will do anything to ensure that Willow does not lose her children. Willow will continue to grow desperate and more fearful that the worst will happen. Drew would continue to assure Willow that she still stands a chance in court, especially with Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst, in their corner as their attorney. Drew would tell Willow that Rick will stop at nothing to ensure that Willow does not lose custody, and that he will find evidence that Michael is hiding something. Willow isn't so sure that Rick would find another incriminating against Michael, and would continue to panic. Rick would tell Willow that Michael being back in Port Charles hurts their case immensely, and now that they are about to go in front of a judge, Michael looks like the favorable parent and could easily attain full custody. This would send Willow in a panic, and Drew plotting to make sure that Michael does not take the kids from Willow. Drew's wheels start to spin, and he realizes that he is going to have to take drastic measures. As the custody hearing begins and the lawyers Rick and Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, both argue their cases, it looks like Michael is going to win custody, as Diane decimates Willow in court and makes it look like her bad choices have hurt and will continue to hurt her children. Drew becomes more desperate and orders Rick to bribe the judge, do whatever it takes to stop Michael. Drew must ensure that Willow attains custody of Wiley and Amelia, and he decides that he has to take drastic action. Drew would hire a hitman to kill Michael so Willow will win custody by default. As the day of the custody decision arrives, the hitman would be in Michael's orbit, and the bullets would fly at the gatehouse. Will Michael survive yet another attempt at his life? Will Drew be caught for trying to kill Michael in a shocking twist set to rock Port Charles to its core? General Hospital spoilers suggest Drew Kane may be headed down a dark and irreversible path. After months of growing tension, emotional manipulation, and internal turmoil, Drew appears ready to do the unthinkable: eliminate Michael Corinthos, his own nephew, in a desperate bid to claim the life he believes he deserves. At the center of the storm, custody of Wiley and Amelia and a twisted fantasy of domestic bliss with Willow. A perfect storm of resentment. Ever since Drew returned from Pentonville, he hasn't quite been the same. The once morally grounded hero has grown increasingly erratic, secretive, and emotionally volatile. While many chalked it up to prison trauma, those closest to him have noticed a colder edge, a calculating undercurrent that wasn't there before. Carly Spencer has noticed the difference but has chosen to chalk it up to Drew being under stress. Meanwhile, Drew's business maneuvers at Aurora have turned aggressive, and he's been more confrontational with those he once considered family. But no one, not even Carly, suspects the true depth of Drew's growing obsession, Willow. A forbidden obsession takes root. Willow and Drew grew close during Michael's recent turmoil, especially during the period Michael tried to take Sonny down behind his back. When Willow found herself emotionally isolated from Michael, Drew became a supportive presence. He'd always been kind, but his attention became more focused, more intense. In his mind, Drew has rewritten history. Michael has failed Willow repeatedly. He deceived her about Sonny, withheld his darker instincts, and most importantly, has put their children in harm's way through his constant connection to mob ties. Drew has convinced himself that he would never allow Wiley or Amelia to be exposed to that world. He believes Willow deserves peace, stability, and devotion, qualities he believes only he can offer. It's no longer just admiration, it's a delusion, and Drew's willing to do anything to make it real. Michael's world begins to crumble. Spoilers tease that Michael will soon find himself plagued by a series of accidents and carefully orchestrated mishaps. A brake line on his car fails. A threatening message arrives at ELQ, seemingly from one of Sunny's enemies. Then Wiley goes missing briefly at the park, only to be found by Drew himself, who conveniently appears just in time to save the day. Michael begins to grow paranoid, and Willow worries that the danger surrounding their family is escalating. She turns to Drew for support, not realizing he's the one pulling the strings. Drew, meanwhile, uses every moment with Willow and the kids to deepen the illusion that they are already a family, planting subtle seeds of doubt about Michael's ability to keep them safe. Carly's suspicions grow. While Carly has been trying to keep her relationship with Drew intact, she can't ignore his increasingly obsessive behavior. She catches him looking at pictures of Willow and Amelia on his phone late at night, and notices that he seems more interested in her family than in their relationship. When she voices her concerns, Drew turns icy. He accuses her of never really loving him, that she's always seen him as Jason's replacement. The argument ends with Carly storming out, heartbroken and shaken. She begins to suspect something is very wrong. Meanwhile, she confides in Sam, who starts putting together pieces from her own recent encounters with Drew. Sam remembers a conversation in which Drew casually mentioned what's best for the kids, and his unusual hostility toward Michael's parenting choices. The two women begin to investigate quietly, unsure of just how dangerous Drew has become. The murder plot unfolds. Spoilers reveal that Drew sets a plan in motion to make Michael's death look like an accident. His scheme is meticulously designed. He arranges for a boating trip between the two of them, framing it as a bonding effort to reconcile their recent tensions. Drew's plan: sabotage the boat's engine, ensure Michael goes overboard, and make it look like a tragic accident during a storm forecast for that night. In a harrowing scene, Drew invites Michael out for the peace offering cruise, and Michael, desperate to repair their fraying family bond, agrees. Willow is hopeful that the two men can finally reconnect, unaware that Drew has no intention of bringing Michael back. The twist: Willow finds a clue. Just hours before the trip, Willow stumbles across a troubling message on Drew's laptop while helping him with a work presentation. The message details a weather report and a note to a private investigator asking about custody viability after a tragic accident. Willow is horrified. Fearing the worst, she rushes to Carly, who immediately springs into action. With Sam's help, they track down the boat's GPS coordinates and call in the Coast Guard. As the storm begins to swell, a tense rescue effort is launched. Showdown on the water. Out on the water, Michael begins to suspect something is off. The boat stalls, and Drew grows increasingly tense. When Michael questions him, Drew finally snaps, accusing Michael of being an unfit father, a liar, and a danger to his children. In a chilling monologue, he lays bare his twisted justification: that Michael's death is a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. A struggle ensues. Michael fights for his life as Drew tries to overpower him. Just as Drew is about to shove Michael overboard, a spotlight beams down from a rescue chopper. Authorities arrive in time to stop the murder, pulling both men from the water. Drew is arrested on the spot, shouting that no one understands, that Willow and the kids need him, that Michael is the real threat. It's a haunting image, and one that sends shockwaves through Port Charles. Aftermath: shattered trust and legal fallout. Back on land, Willow is devastated. She cannot reconcile the man who supported her through her illness with the man who tried to kill her husband. She grapples with guilt. Had she unknowingly led Drew on? Had her vulnerability put Michael in danger? Michael, though shaken, survives and vows to protect his family at all costs. He presses charges, determined that Drew face justice. Meanwhile, the revelation sparks a domino effect at ELQ, as investors panic and the board begins to question Drew's previous actions, suggesting this may not have been his first unethical move. Carly is crushed. She realizes she missed the signs and enabled a man who became a monster under her roof. The betrayal cuts deep, and she begins her own emotional reckoning. Sam and Jason reconnect. In the wake of Drew's arrest, Sam finds herself processing a complex mix of grief and relief. She's thankful her suspicions helped save Michael's life, but she's haunted by how far Drew fell from the man he once was. Spoilers tease that Jason, returning from a mission for Sunny, is stunned to learn what happened in his absence. He finds himself drawn back into the family's orbit, not just for Michael, but for Sam and Danny as well. Could this crisis bring Jason and Sam closer once again? A family forever changed. As Port Charles reels from Drew's shocking betrayal, the Corinthos and Quartermain families must pick up the pieces. The man once hailed as a hero has revealed himself to be a deeply broken soul, consumed by envy and delusion. Wiley and Amelia remain blissfully unaware of just how close they came to losing their father. Willow, now wiser and warier, draws a firmer line between herself and those who seek to control her future. And Michael. He emerges from the darkness with a renewed sense of purpose, to raise his children with integrity, and to protect them from the ghosts that still haunt Port Charles. But as always in General Hospital, one question lingers. Is this truly the end of Drew Kane's story, or just the beginning of another twisted chapter? Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.